When someone we love is hurting, we want to help them feel better, but oftentimes we don't know what to say. And our help isn't helpful, that can be harmful. Have you ever tried to help and it didn't go well at all? I have. Hello, friend. If you're new here, my name's Zach, and helping someone we love is possible. And we're going to discuss what to do in this video today so that you don't fall into this trap of just freezing or these other things we tend to do. Let's dive into some don'ts first that we're tempted to do every time. Don't fix. When we want to make someone feel better, we have great solutions. And we give them those solutions sometimes, right out of the gate. This can make someone feel like, well, we don't care, or frustrated because we didn't do the right thing that they were wanting, even though they don't quite know what they were wanting. Have you been there? You had the advice someone needed, you gave it to them, and they got upset with you. I've been there. The other thing we don't want to do is detach. Here's what that is. Detaching is when we're in a connection, right? We're connected with someone and we detach, we separate from them. We can do this oftentimes because we don't know what to say, so we say nothing. We're worried we might mess up, so we do nothing. Their anxiety and their hurt bothers us, and we don't want to see it. So we can detach also through not just freezing, we can detach through minimizing. Oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, it'll be okay. Or we can detach through rubbing a scripture on it as a Christian. A lot of us like to do that. God uses all things for good. This is a true scripture, but in that moment, I think more often what we're doing is we just want it to stop. Or the third one we can do that we shouldn't do is we can initiate numbing behavior. We've popularized some of these, so I'm going to dive into a few. Like, let's go shopping. Like, buying stuff makes us feel better. And it does for a moment, but the problem doesn't go away. Or let me make you something to eat. And we're helping the person numb through food. By the way, mine's Juanita chips and salsa, in case you're wondering. Or drinking alcohol. In fact, this can be popularized. I remember in college when one of my buddies would break up in a dating relationship. He'd be like, oh, let's go have a drink tonight. It'll be okay. Again, numbing behavior. We're initiating in these numbing behaviors that our culture has popularized. And my friend, this is tempting because it makes us feel good because we're numbing, but it doesn't make us feel better. And that's the problem with it. In context, also what's wrong with it is it usually leads to gluttony or drunkenness or debt. And you can see this all around you, can't it? I think we're a culture of trying to feel better personally or trying to make others feel better. So that's what we don't want to do. But here's a list of things that will help someone to actually feel better. Number one is just listening. And we don't do this often enough. Because like I said earlier, when we want to detach ourselves, it can be painful to hear what someone we love is walking through. Hurts. But simply listening makes someone profoundly feel better. And while we're listening, here's some tips to help someone feel like you actually heard them. When you're listening, you want to listen to understand. All you're doing in these moments is you're just listening to understand, not listening to look for tips, not listening to hijack the conversation to talk about something else. You're just listening. And when you listen, a simple tip is to mirror. All mirroring is you're just going to repeat back what someone said using your own words. And so when you're listening to understand, you're going to mirror back to them, what I hear you saying is this. And say in the best words you can, not the exact words they said, but what you heard. And ask them, is that right? You know, we live in a culture that really doesn't listen much, doesn't ask much questions. And so when you listen and mirror back, that oftentimes will relieve the pain a little bit. All right, the next step is to pray. You know, we can belittle this. Like prayer is, oh, that's all I can do is pray. I've heard someone say, well, I can't help you. All I can do is pray. Like that's a lesser thing. Even though we serve the God of this universe and he not only has the hills, he owns it all. Like he can do it all. He can be with us. In fact, there's passage of scripture saying that he walks with us through the valley of the shadow of death and that we can fear no evil, for he's with us. Like these are promises from him. Like we might as well pray to him. And you can pray in a couple different ways. You can pray by yourself for that person. You can also pray with them. After you've listened to them, after you've mirrored, say, hey, can I pray for you? Whether the person believes in God or not, I have yet to have someone be offended by me offering to pray for them. In fact, it's rare that someone says, well, no. Again, whether they believe in God or not, this is something that we can be there with people after we listen to them and they understand that we listened. The next one, and this isn't true of everyone, but it is true for a lot of us. This guy is a physical affection guy. And honestly, from people that are the closest to me, how you can make me feel better when I'm not doing well is a hand on my shoulder or a hug. Sometimes we forget that human contact is something that is helpful. And again, this isn't all people. You don't want to just move in and, I'm a hugger, guys. If you were here, I might try to hug you. But you don't want to just start going around hugging everyone, right? Like, some people do not appreciate that, in case you're wondering. But if it is someone that's close to you, sometimes I think when someone's hurting, we can move away from them physically instead of toward them physically. And this can be something that helps someone to feel better. The next one is reminding someone of who they are through compliments. When someone's not doing well and they're struggling, like for me, a lot of times when I'm struggling, it's that I'm wondering if I have what it takes. Can I do what's in front of me? Because the mountain seems really big and I feel really small. And through words of encouragement, it has helped me to feel better so that I have the resolve to keep pushing. And again, the prayers, the possible hug, the words of compliment, these are all things that must come after listening and listening to understand. And my friend, this is a skill. This is not something that is simple to do, but there are some easy steps to it. And so if you want to know how you can truly listen to your friend, watch this video right here. I know it'll really help you. You can help someone feel better. Just sometimes it's not the actions we think it is. Have a great day, and God bless you in your journey.